Let me very quickly extend the courtesies of Mr. President, who has asked me to specifically and sincerely thank each of you for accepting to serve on this very important committee, which is expected to play a significant role in supporting national development through the successful execution of the proposed census. Clearly, we all know why we're here today, to inaugurate this body that has been carefully chosen and selected by Mr. President to kickstart the process of counting and enumerating our citizenry, an all-important function. That's why we're here. The task before you is of strategic importance because an accurate population, we all know, is a precursor to national development. It cuts across all sectors and all aspects of our economy, from healthcare delivery to education to security and what have you. There is no area of the Nigerian national development that can actually be propelled without having accurate data as to how many we are, where we are, and peculiar and different circumstances. The last time we had this exercise was about, I think, 2006. We're talking about 2 decades ago. And since then, there has been several changes in terms of settlements, in terms of population, in terms of our priorities, in terms of the economy, in terms of technology. And we cannot stay on one spot, and it will be all motion and no movement. And that's why knowing how many people we are that inhabit this country and who we are is, like I said, a precursor to national development. The president takes this. This is very important. He's actually very excited about it. It's one of the things he had talked about from Jump Street when he was sworn into office. But of course, to have a credible census, a lot has to go into it. A lot has to go into the planning, and that's why it's been 2 years down the road before this. Before we decided to inaugurate this, anything worth doing is worth doing well. Financing, of course, is also very important. How do we finance census? It's not a cheap exercise. So we have to look, the committee will have to look, amongst other things, into domestic and even international resourcing. At the last presentation you made to Mr. President, you dwelled a lot about sourcing funds and where to, and how to get the wherewithal to conduct this exercise. And this is one of the tasks before this committee. You are expected to work with all relevant agencies. I'm glad NIMSI is here, NPC, and of course the Ministry of Budget and Planning. His ministry has to take charge of this because you cannot budget and you cannot plan if you do not know how many you are. So we expect that we will have potential international support. And we expect that you will touch on the areas of technology because the census has to be technology driven. Things have changed from the last time that we conducted this exercise. So in terms of the exercise itself, the enumeration and what have you, it has to be technologically driven. The president is particularly keen to make sure that technology is deployed for this exercise with biometric and digital enumeration. I believe the timeline, from my understanding and from my discussions with our discussions with Mr. President, that once this is inaugurated, this committee is inaugurated, we'll expect an initial report in the next 3 weeks. It is that report that will now determine a specific date for the exercise itself. So again, that underscores the importance of this committee. You have to hit the ground running. 3 weeks is a short time, but a lot can be done in 3 weeks. And I know that work has already begun, even behind the scenes. This is just to formally declare this open. So on behalf of the President, I urge you to approach the responsibility with patriotism, diligence, and clarity of purpose. And I hereby inaugurate this all-important committee. Thank you so much for coming.
On behalf of all of us, to appreciate our gratitude to Mr. President for deeming us fit for this assignment, and to also thank the Chief of Staff for holding forth as always for Mr. President, and today in inaugurating this committee. We have attended the last meeting where Mr. President received briefing from the National Population Commission, and we are all, even before then, we at in a Federal Executive Council meeting, we are all aware of Mr. President's determination that we should ensure that we have this census. And a very often recalled quote that Mr. President have reminded us of is something he said when he was swearing in us, when he held the retreat for ministers, where he said we should imagine we are drawing water from a dry well. And that was what we used to inspire the world by our message that the Renewed Hope agenda is not for lamentation. It's about confronting our reality. It's about appreciating that despite all challenges, we can mobilize what God bless us with institutionally, human resource and other resources without blame game, and making the best out of it. And we have done so as a country. That's why, despite all the headwinds and global challenges, Mr. President had led us to take bold and courageous endeavors, to the extent that today we are heading the right direction. Rating agencies are acknowledging what we have been doing. Our growth is on a positive trajectory. Our foreign exchange is stable. So we are under no illusion that what we are also required to do as a committee is in similar state. We shouldn't lament. We should reflect on all the resources available to government and mobilize and provide advice what can be done, who can bring resources to bear, and I'm sure we'll find the wherewithal to make recommendations consistent with what our country is blessed with and what we can quickly mobilize additional to what we are blessed with. Many institutions can play a role, and we'll call upon them expeditiously. And as the Chief of Staff have stated, we believe that given the nature of the assignment and the requirement that it should be dealt with expeditiously, 3 weeks is generous, and we'll come back. I make bold to say that on behalf of all of us, we'll work to ensure that we come back with a report within the period identified. Thank you very much. Thank you.
First, we want to thank Mr. President for this esteemed consideration for us to serve as members of the Census and Housing Committee. It is a very important committee. As you know, census and the availability of data is critical for national planning, for economic planning. So, and you cannot have accurate data if you don't carry out this census. And the world over, there is this feeling, or there is this sort of agreement that census ought to be held every 10 years. The last time we held census in this country was in 2006. This is 19 years ago. And so census is really overdue to be held in this country. But of course, because it is coming with a lot of requirements, government has decided that before it goes into it, this committee be put in place under the able leadership, chairmanship of the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. That includes myself, the chair of the National Population Commission, NIMC, the Prime Minister of Finance, and other critical stakeholders within government to ensure that this planning did take place. And so the President says that before final decision is taken on the date and other modalities for the execution of this census, this committee will look at all the modalities within 3 weeks to see what is it that government can do to ensure that this census takes place. And that is why we are here. And President has directed the Chief of Staff to inaugurate the committee. He has just done that. And we are going to go to work in earnest. And, already work has started on this, and we are not just waiting for this. This is just a formal ceremony that has taken place. We will work assiduously under the able chairmanship of the chairman to ensure that we come up with a credible report that the President will rely on to take an informed decision on the conduct of this census. And that is what we are here for.
Honorable Minister, sir, this party everywhere, anywhere. We know that this will involve a lot of sensitization and enlightenment for Nigerians to key in. How prepared is the Ministry of Information to undertake this task?
Well, statutorily, the Ministry of Information has always been, whoever is the minister has been the chairman of the Advocacy and Enlightenment Committee of the Census. And that is why I'm here. Of course, we are ready. We have all the agencies of government there, the National Orientation Agency, all the platforms. Indeed, even the private sector platforms are there. We're going to mobilize all of them, do a lot of sensitization. But like I said, this is a period of doing the report first. We'll come up with what we think we require to do that. And that is why we don't want to go into the operational details yet. We want to do this committee, come up with this assessment, and then we present this report to Mr. President. After approval, then we can lay out what is there for Nigerians to know. But I can assure you that the Ministry of Information and National Security, and indeed with other critical ministries and agencies of government, are fully ready and prepared to hit the ground running once Mr. President so directs.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, first and foremost, let me thank Mr. President for finding us worthy to be part of this committee and to prepare the groundwork for the preparations for the conduct of census. Yes, we've been given 3 weeks to carry out this assignment. Even before the official inauguration today, we've been doing our work behind the scene with other ministries, especially the Ministry of Budget. We've been working together to work out the details of the requirements that will enable Mr. President to take his decision. So today is a formal inauguration of the committee, and we believe we can deliver on this, make sure we submit the initial report in the next 3 weeks to Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.